So my name is Takara Baker, and I represent product marketing for Advertising Cloud here in EMEA, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about trending topics in advertising. Transparency is the new normal. I put this slide here because I think in general we know that transparency is important in advertising, and it's a key piece, and it's becoming a normal thing. Brands are really demanding it, and what we're seeing is that transparency is evolving, and it's not just about, do I know that my ads were viewed, and do I know that I've reached humans? But it's saying, how do I fully understand how all the partners and how everything is working together? And do I have a transparent look into that? And then if I don't, how do I get that? And how do I really dig deep into all of that? Transparency in the value chain. So this is a really key one, and I think it's a really big topic for people today. They've understood that I want to know if I'm reaching humans, and I want to know if they're viewing my ad. And we want to know that we're buying quality inventory, or that we're reaching quality inventory. 60% of ad agency professionals are concerned with the quality and the transparency of their inventory sources. I'm sure everyone in advertising remembers this report. Really kind of looking at the issues in transparency. And this is a really great quote from Bill Duggan. And I think this report really started to get people thinking about, well, how much am I charging people? Am I charging them too much? Do I know if I'm charging them too much? And can I easily access this information? And do I trust the information that I'm getting? Within our platform, within Advertising Cloud, our goal is to provide complete end-to-end transparency across the full chain. So you can go down to the placement level and you can see every area that you're buying. You know how much you're paying for data. So when it comes to just transparency and the overall value chain, I would say my three sort of takeaways for that are: figure out who you work with, figure out how much you pay them, and really start to do that calculation to fully understand what's the value that they're providing. Understand kind of, do you want to pay as much as you're paying across these areas, and really get to that true budget that's being spent towards actually advertising at the consumer. So the next topic that I want to talk to you guys about is ads.txt. And this is really how the industry is actually creating solutions or initiatives that are providing full transparency for advertisers. And essentially what it's doing is providing transparency into supply sources and the people that are authorized to sell inventory. So the next topic that we are going to talk about, or that Sam is going to talk about, is operational transparency. And as I said before, this is a really great look into how a brand is taking a journey, or a transparency journey, and really digging into what they're getting and how operationally they get full transparency through programmatic.
So just a little bit of background, really. I wanted to talk about the fact, clearly we have a great deal of scale in the UK. We've got fantastic physical presence, really, building up to over 700 stores. And then over the last 3 years, it's that marketing investment which has really ramped up as well, which has kind of aligned that physical availability with the mental availability of our brand, which is then having a very significant effect in terms of driving sales. We're an offline brand. It's what we call a bricks and mortar retailer. Everything that we do is designed to drive customers into store and to buy things off our shelves. There's no e-commerce operation. So when we think about how we're using digital, it's really about the impact that we're having with the customer and how that then is translating into sales. What has this got to do with operational transparency? Well, when we look at the return that we're generating from investment in digital, we set about interrogating the way in which that spend is being deployed and really seeking to understand how we can improve that return. As many of you will be familiar, in terms of interrogating digital, it's incredibly complex. So naturally this is quite daunting, but it's important because we need to understand this if we're going to really kind of understand what impressions are important for us to buy, which is ultimately what our project is all around. Adobe have a great phrase, metrics that matter, which really resonated with us to think about what things we do need to be prioritising within that kind of digital optimization process. To try to get a grip across all these different KPIs, it was important that we appointed our own DSP. These kind of 4 key areas really which sat behind that decision. The first thing really is around reach optimization. The second area is around data ownership as well. The third area is around transparency. Clearly it's very important that we have visibility of the decisions that are being made on our behalf. This fourth area software expertise, and this is really having a direct contract with a DSP allows us to access the expertise within that partner as well. A DSP really was that thrashing machine was separating the wheat from the chaff, and actually what's important for us is probably going to be very different from another brand, and in fact it should be. The huge opportunity with digital is that we are able to craft a digital schedule in a way which very deliberately focuses on the inventory which is of value to that brand. The point is really, by way of summary, we all need to kind of really think about the digital inventory we're buying. There is an endless supply, and we're encouraged to think of an endless supply, but we need to really kind of identify what's important to us. Separate the wheat from the chaff, and maybe that will help to make the media marketplace fairer, which will benefit all of us.